with my newfound love of dieting, which is, some people say, a little dangerous. Other people say it's okay. I'm not real sure which one of those two thought processes is correct, but we're going to find out in 20 days. 20 days from now. Today is day 10. Day 10. Absolutely no food. None. On the third day of my diet, I had, there's something in the Philippines, it's called calamansi. It's like a small lime. They're about that big. They're about an inch and a quarter big. On the third day, I had 13. I had bought 13. I squeezed the juice out of, I think, 9 or 10, and then I ate three. Ate three of them with the skin on it. And that was the last solid food I had. 3 calamansi that add up to, the skin adds up to 11 calories per calamansi. So in 10 days, I consumed 33 calories of food. Now, I will tell you the results of this fast. I see Scott Del Fuego was on the live stream. Thank you for stopping by. I will tell you the results of the fast right now as soon as I can get to my home page and open up the video. Let me go to my live. I didn't. Okay, so what a fast, only 10 days on save. Okay, so to go through it by the numbers, on day 1, very difficult, very hungry, hunger pangs, and a little bit of, your mouth gets watery because you want food. Day 2, severe hunger pains, watery mouth, and very, very hungry. But I want you to understand that in 10 days, the signs or symptoms that something's going wrong are a headache, nausea, or dizziness. Now, I've walked as much as a mile out in the sun at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon on day 6 and day 7 and day 5, and I had none of that. So you do have to be careful that after day 5, your body goes into something called ketosis, and your body is working off the fat in your body. I've had no negative side effects, but those are the 3 that are possible. Autophagy kicks in on day 5 and day 6. That's a process of the body that, now that the body doesn't have the nutrients and minerals and chemicals that it needs, it's looking to burn up calories. And it's looking for nutrients and minerals. That's something called autophagy. Autophagy starts to break down the existing fats and proteins and minerals that you have stored in fat cells. Now, I get all this information from Scott Del Fuego. I'm not a doctor, but Scott has been doing this fasting, dieting, and things like that for years. Okay, I'm going to go to my comment section. I see somebody said there is a comment there. Scott Del Fuego says, Michael Thomas Fazio, the man who went back in time. Back in time. Look, even more hair is growing on my head. You know, since high school, my hair, I have to tell you, I had a hairline. My hairline used to be all the way down here. See that line there? That blue line? That's my hairline in high school. Look at what's happened 50 years later. Look at this. This is crazy. It's back darn near a quarter inch since high school. I'm thinking about getting hair plugs as soon as I lose the weight. Thanks, Scott. Travel, learn, repeat. Hey, I see you around on quite a few channels. Thanks for stopping by. You actually look good, but most people are saying you're full of doo-doo. No, I could show you. I could show you something. I started out with a waistline of 56 inches. My waistline is literally 59 3/4 inches. That's after I have my coffee. So I only have coffee dust for the instant coffee, and I have that about 6 o'clock in the morning. So that's 5 hours ago. So my energy level that you see now is the body working off the fat. And there was a lot of fat. Let me tell you something. I was fat. I was so fat, I had trouble walking up and down steps. I could go up and down steps, but I had trouble walking up and down steps. So I was discussing, thank you, travel, learn, repeat. Thank you for the compliment. I was discussing something called autophagy. It's AUTOPHAGY. That process is a process that the body goes through. Thank you, Scott. Autophagy is a process that once there's nothing in your body anymore, and there is nothing, there is no food, nothing has been consumed in 10 days other than those 33 calories of calamansi skin. Your body starts to work off the fat, minerals, and nutrients that are stored. Well, it also starts to, if you have a scar tissue, it somehow works to remove that scar tissue. It removes the negative or cells that don't belong on your skin. And that works both internally and externally. So the leg wound that I had is smaller, a little bit smaller. The leg wound is, my leg was swelled up at 23 inches the day I started the 10-day fast. 23 inches. If you're watching the live stream, the answer to that question you just sent me on Messenger is yes. So I'll show you what 23 inches looks like. And the leg was painful. There was a lot of pain. Enough pain where I would have to take at least one 400 milligram ibuprofen. At least one, because the pain was just unbearable. And then the leg, like I said, was 21 inches in diameter, in circumference. So this is how big the leg was. Just give me a moment, please. Thank you. My leg was this big. And I'm not kidding. No, that's 21 inches. Excuse me. My leg was 23 inches. That's too big. It just went from the knee, it just went out. And then at the ankle itself was 14 inches. It should be 12 and a half. Now, the measurement of my leg is just about 17 and 3/4, or this big. That's normal for me. I have a 17-inch calf muscle. We're not talking about thighs. We're talking about calf muscles. So 6 inches on my calf from the swelling, from the infection. I have a chronic infection inside the calf of my leg, my right leg. I've had it for years. I've taken about 17 different types of antibiotics over the course of 4 years. I've seen 19, 20, 21, 22 doctors. They don't understand what it is. I've had 3 blood tests, most recently one in April. It came back as a specific bacteria. They gave me something called ciprofloxacin. That helped. So I took that in May, and that helped get rid of the infection. But it didn't cure it. I'm going to have to take another dose of that in a few more months. But the Autophagy reduced the swelling in my leg 6 inches, plus not eating any food at all. Now, I could tell you that for a fact that if I was to start eating again and I was going to consume anything at all with monosodium glutamate, my leg would swell right back up the same day. So I don't expect the swelling to stay down. I expect to go to the 100-day mark of fasting with water only. Although it's a bizarre goal, that's my goal. Or 100 pounds, whichever comes first. It's my goal. Now, if I reach 100 pounds on day 60, I'll go back to normal eating, but in smaller quantities. But I've noticed quite a few changes. I have actually more energy now in the afternoon than I did normally when I was eating. Because once you eat, the blood goes to your stomach and you lose a certain amount of energy. Well, I don't eat anymore. I don't need to eat anymore. And if I keep saying that to myself, I'll believe I don't need to eat anymore. And that's how you have to do it. One day at a time, you say, today I'm not going to eat food. Maybe tomorrow. The same way I quit smoking cigarettes 616 days ago. And I never had another cigarette. But I will tell you, for a year plus, I wanted a cigarette. Going back a year and a half or a little bit better, I quit drinking alcohol for the pain that was associated with the infection in my leg. The hospitals and doctors here in the Philippines, they will not prescribe any pain pills for the, even though they know how much pain from the infection in my leg existed, they will not prescribe barbiturates or pain pills. Just won't do it. I had a root canal, and I asked the dentist, can you give me 1 oxycodone? No, sir. We can't. We could prescribe them. Oh, but it wasn't just the root canal. It was the root canal, and they had to cut a good-sized chunk of skin away from the tooth in order to do their work. A good-sized piece. And that hurt. When even though it didn't hurt when I was in the chair, but it hurt that night. I could have used, and you see, I understand pain because I'm just at the age where we've had pain before. I know that when the lidocaine wears off, I'm going to be in pain from a root canal, and they will not give you a pain pill for anything. I had an inguinal hernia on May 2nd. The pain was unbearable in the hospital. That was when you see me in the hospital with Daisy May. They wouldn't give me anything stronger than Tramadol. Tramadol is ibuprofen with a different name, the same type of anti-inflammatory medicine, but no pain pill. Even the same day as the operation, no pain pill. Even the next day, no pain pill. Even the day I'm going to go home, no pain pill. They don't prescribe barbiturates easily, never to me, and I could have used them twice, but they say they just don't prescribe them unless it's a really serious injury. So let me go back to the comments. Scott Del Fuego says, nah, Fazio doesn't lie about things like quitting smoking or eating. Why would I lie about that? I mean, come on, sometimes I do 7-hour live streams and I sit right here in this chair. I don't smoke. Come to my house. Smell my house. You'd be able to smell it. I can smell a cigarette from 100 feet away now, more. But why would I lie about that? What, do you think I care? I care about not smoking. If you hear that he's lying, take it from where it comes. Maybe the person that calls me a liar has 30,000 lies under his belt this month only. But I don't lie about stuff like that. So the body preferably goes for non-viable and damaged tissue to draw from first. So that is the word autophagy, A-U-T-O-P-H-A-G-Y. Autophagy, Scott is explaining, the body goes for damaged tissue before it goes for fat cells. That's true. I can see some of the wound on my leg has reduced in size 10% in 10 days. 5%. Either way, it's being healed slowly. But if you saw my leg 2 years ago, it was pretty hard to look at. I have pictures, but if I put them up on this channel now, the channel, the video might come down. The video might come down. That's how bad the injury on my leg is, or was. So thank you, Scott. And Scott Del Fuego says, it is some Philippines garbage. So I did have this infection. It's going back to 2016. And when I went to America, I had an infection on my foot for over a year. And when I went to America for 9 weeks, it went away. It went away altogether, and the skin grew back. I've said this 100, 200, 300 times. You can believe what you want. I'm way more aware of what goes into my body and what doesn't go into my body. When I went to America, the wound on my foot that was on my foot for over a year, in 8.5 weeks, disappeared. Gone. It was an open wound on the top of the bridge of my foot where you could touch the bone through the meat. You could feel the bone. In 8.5 weeks, that went away. Skin grew over it, scar tissue and skin. I came back to the Philippines. Within 2 months, the same wound was back. I went for another blood test. They gave me some more medicine. Those wounds went away, and a new wound appeared on my calf muscle between the knee and the ankle. John Blaze of the Philippines. John, you have a wrench put the link to your channel out. John Blaze has some of the. John Blaze is a successful YouTuber. Please put the link out to your page. He has a big old southern ranch, a big one. He just sold his entire herd of cattle because he lost his ranch foreman. So he had to either sell the herd or he had to take care of the herd. And John Blaze flies a $30 million helicopter when it's new. So he doesn't have time to take care of his herd of cattle. So he sold off the herd. It sounds very impressive. Very impressive. Yeah, and it is. It is. I've known John as a pilot for many years, but that's why my friends trust me with their personal information. But not so much Allo. He's holding something back from me. He knows that I like talking about what's going to happen to people on YouTube, and he there's a few pieces of information that he refuses to trust me with, and that bothers me a little bit. But I'm okay with it. I'm going to get over that. So John Blaze has just sold off his entire herd of cattle. He's a helicopter pilot that is certified to grab buckets of water from the ocean or a lake or a stream or a pond and bring them, if there's a forest fire, to help put out the forest fire. I never told anybody what kind of helicopter you fly because we never agreed that I could say that. So, but he flies a big old helicopter with 2 propellers. So he's also married to a Filipina. They just went through the paperwork to bring the Filipina, who I've met and known since 2018, to America. He's also the owner of a nice plot of land in Davao, and he's building a house in Davao. So John Blaze is one of the Philippines YouTube genre that's one of the most successful in the Philippines genre. Certainly, by far, has the most prestigious job, except for 2 of my other friends that are also pilots, whose names I don't mention. You're welcome. So, and let me tell you something, John. I was this close 2 days ago from getting on a plane and going to your house and having that tortellini with the sausage and pork and beef sauce that you made with some kind of cheese that looks a recipe up in a book and then goes out and gets all the ingredients. My brother does that. My brother will go get 26 herbs and spices, make you a rack of lamb that you wouldn't believe that you're eating in a house, and you would think you were in a 5-star restaurant. That was delicious, he says. He makes these oddball meals on occasion. He has 5-star food. He's really a 5-star food creator in his kitchen. He's got a beautiful kitchen, beautiful house. I could go on and on about accolades for John Blaze. He just put in a fireplace that's also a stove that cost $10,000 for his fireplace and his stove. So that's not something to just let go by. So, and John Blaze, I'm proud to say, has been my good friend for going on 6 years. So thanks for stopping by, John. So we were talking about autophagy and how the autophagy goes for the damaged tissue before it goes for fat cells. But Lord knows there's enough fat to go around on my body. So I started my diet 10 days ago, and today is the 23rd. Yes, I started my fasting at 6 a.m. Well, actually, I woke up and didn't eat. So at 6 a.m., I did eat. I had 2 spoons of rice, 2 good-sized spoons of rice. And then I said, you know what? I think I'm going to start fasting. And then I just put the rice in the freezer, in the refrigerator. And then 4 days later, I put it in the freezer, what I had left. So I haven't eaten anything in 10 days. So on autophagy has gone after the wound on my leg and my calf muscle. And it's the life, it just landed. So John's wife is on her way to the United States, Manila, or is John's wife finishing up the paperwork in Manila? Please share that information with us. I will never say her name, but I would suggest you don't either. But is your wife in Manila to finish paperwork, or is she on her way to the States? So we were talking about paperwork, to finish the paperwork. Yeah, thank you. A lot of paperwork. And can you tell us what that cost altogether, the paperwork, in rough thousands of dollars? Did it cost $3,000? That includes airfare, hotels, because everybody has to go through the same process. With airfare, hotel, did it cost $3,000 or more or less? $4,000 US. So the process of marrying, but now on top of that, John has introduced me to a wife in 2018. He had to come here to meet her. That cost $5,000. And then he came again last year. That's another $5,000 plus, $5,000 plus. So altogether, the Philippines wants to see you come and spend a certain amount of time with your fiance. So and they also, at the embassy, what she's also going to show them is correspondence, back and forth, Skype conversations, Facebook Messenger conversations, emails. They want to know that John is keeping in touch and interest in with the woman. Otherwise, they won't let the woman leave the Philippines. So if you were to say what it actually costs to come, and they want you to come for 1 month each time you come, and they want you to come twice. That does 2 things. That satiates us. When I said 5,000, you got to remember he stayed here for a month. Airfare is 3,000, so that's 3. Food for 1 month could be 3,000. That's 6. I was going low. I was lowballing because I don't know. I never asked him because it's none of my business. But I mean, if he wants to share, you guys can learn something from this. And I'm going to tell you something else. I have talked to other people where that 50,000 for John is a little bit high, but other people have said $25,000 to $30,000. All told, is a normal cost to meet a Filipina and marry a Filipina, because you also have to take into account loss of income for 5 weeks when you go to the Philippines and come back. So what is your income worth? Let's say you make $1,000 a week. That's 5,000. 5,000, 6,000 for expenses, that's 11,000 times 2, 22,000, 4,000 for the fees and service fees that's 25,000. John may have been more generous to the family than most. Let's see what happens here. 50,000. Five signs of being in a state of autophagy are extra bowel movements, eye debris after sleep. Now, I haven't had any of that. But if I did, there's a blogger on YouTube that was doing live streams showing us how to consume eye candy. But we won't talk about him today. We'll talk about him another day, though. Okay, so 5 signs of being in autophagy: extra bowel movements, eye debris after sleep, musculoskeletal releases, musculoskeletal releases. If you say it slow, it sounds like you said it properly. Musculoskeletal releases. I've had a lot of that stuff last night. I was waking up in the middle of the night with musculoskeletal releases. In fact, I don't even need a picture of Bomber anymore on my wall when I go to take a Frank. I can have a musculoskeletal release without even looking at Bomber's picture on the wall. And metallic taste. Number 4, mild hunger. I don't have any of that. I might be Superman of fasting. I haven't had any eye candy to eat, although I saw a fella. Eric, how you doing, Eric? I saw a fella eating his eye candy and boogers on a Popeye One live stream, and then I looked up is eating mucus and boogers healthy? There's two trains of thought on that. One train of thought is that it's not healthy, and another train of thought is that it builds up your bacteria resistance. Who knew? I guess he was just working on his bacteria resistance on Popeye One's show. That's true. That's true. I have the live stream copied in case anybody doesn't believe me. That's true. I wouldn't lie about stuff like that. I made a point. I made a whole video about it. Then he stopped eating. He stopped. He was doing this. He was going like this. And he was going like this. Then he was putting his hands down just out of the sight of the camera. And then he was going like this. You could see his lips moving, but you couldn't see him put the pellet between his lips. That's true. Right hand to God. I wouldn't make that up. That's true. Eye candy, juices. He was licking the juice that was running out of his nose like you'd run your lips across an empty corn of the cob. Or a corn of the cob with butter. Like a horse grabbing grass. Like that. There was no eye candy left after just a few minutes. It was all gone. But he kept trying. He kept picking. That same guy said he was my friend and then gave the person who attacked me $700 US a few weeks later. So he's really not my friend. Hey, how you doing, Eric? You think I forgot about you? No, man, we're not done with you yet. I got news for you, buddy. I still haven't seen Fred or George in person. I'd really like to get a Skype call going with them, but if I can't, I'll settle for just shooting out a couple of emails. In fact, maybe I'll even go one step further. Maybe I'll just send out the videos to somebody else and they can put it on their channel. And then I could give the links to that other person's channel, the videos. So you would have nothing to say about that. That would be the best. And Fred and George could enjoy them without you ever flagging my channel for copyright, because we know there's a lot of things about you that no one knows about except me and Allo and Allo's researchers. Oh, yeah. And also Expat Trash. They have a whole dossier on you. Yes, sir. Eric, you are going to be famous on Expat Trash soon, I hope. So, Scott gave us the 5 signs of autophagy. So let's just, let me post that again. And then we'll go, John Blaze, $200,000 is what it cost him for his time. And you could believe that. Because, like I said, and I said it clear as day, John Blaze is a helicopter pilot. So every day that John doesn't fly is a day that John loses whatever his daily wage is. So let's see, for a minute, Flying Circuses here. For a minute, I thought Blaze typed date, not hate. Oh, that was pretty cool, yeah? Thanks. I was the finish going 4K all in from start to finish. 50,000. But, or for time lost, 200,000. So now that's probably viable. I mean, the man is, yeah, I don't want to tell you what he does, who he works for, but he doesn't just, he flies a dual rotor $30 million helicopter, and he has certificates to dump water on forest fires. That's big money. On a day like that, put in a 12, 14-hour day, he can make damn near $100 a day doing that kind of work. Sometimes more. Scott Del Fuego giving, hey, Eric did it. Eric got to fess up to it. It's called free speech. Free speech. Something that he does not allow and doesn't like when other people have it. But he says he believes in what he believes in, but he also is friends with some rather strange bedfellows, shall we call them. Hey, Eric, how you doing? You know, that's what I was thinking yesterday, John. Here, watch. Okay, John. I go to the Roach King. I take the shirt. I go to the Roach King and I take the shirt. How could I like this? Now the bars are vertical. And behind the bars I go, woo, 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 woo. I make faces from behind the bars. Woo, 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 like that. And then the Roach King makes faces from behind the bars. He imitates the faces that I make. And he's behind the bars, woo, 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 like that. And I'm over here snapping pictures like Andy Warhol. And then I take those pictures and I put them up on sale on the internet. That's my new scam. As soon as I get done with my current scam, which I have running now, it's an ongoing scam. I want to help my landlord with her food prices for the fiesta. She's going to spend 30,000 pesos. She's going to spend that for sure. She will, if it's a normal fiesta at my landlord's house, they will put 12 cases of Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola, both, 6 and 6. They will put 12 cases of rum. 12. 12 real cases of rum. And they will buy 100-pound sack of rice, which won't be enough. They will feed 400 people during the course of the day. They will run out of rice before the end of the day. They will make 100 kilos of rice. They will roast a 60 to 80 pound pig. Dominic is going to start dressing the pig out at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I will be making a live stream, and I'll be asking people for Super Chat to help pay for the foods at the fiesta. But if I receive anything today or tomorrow and every day up until the fiesta, including the day of the fiesta, my landlord will receive half that money that's donated to my channel. So far I have $25 US donated towards that project. And then after that, I'll do the Roach King pictures. No, I won't do that, but I will give her half the money I have collected. So John Blaze, getting back to John Blaze, said it cost him $200,000, and you have to figure your time. Everybody has a value on their time. Everything costs money. If I had to worry about my YouTube income for the last 3 months on just my AdSense, this month, the month of August, the month of July, okay, up until August 21st, I earned $32 for all the videos I have on my channel. I earned $32. Some people earn $32 a day on a single video. I received 20,000 views in 30 days. Some people receive 20,000 views in a day. I received 20,000 views in 1 month. I don't make a lot of money through AdSense, but that's okay. But I will tell you that if I had to pay my electric bill and my internet bill with the money I collected from AdSense only, it wouldn't pay it. My internet bill is $37 a month. No, 1,700 pesos is $34 a month. And my electric bill is $60 a month. So we're talking about $100 a month for electric and internet, and I made $32. And a lot of this electric goes to keeping the internet is going to cost what the internet costs, but I keep a fan going when I'm working on the live streams and at night when I'm working on my videos. So it's not a profitable business. But moving back to the topic at hand, everybody's time has value. If you took away the time I put into my live stream, which is now an hour, almost an hour, plus setting up no. Okay. Hold on. 625 views is $1. You're wrong about that. Why is it that you know how much money I make in the Philippines from views? It's a completely different formula for the people in the Philippines. 1,000 views. Oh, well, that's what it comes out to, is what you're saying. My mistake. It could come out to 600. Let's see what you said. Let's see. it comes out to 625 views equals $1. Okay, and that's about right, because I apologize, because you I thought you were saying what I earned on 1,000 views. My 1,000 views is somewhere between $1 and $2. You see, you got to understand one thing. Okay, in the Philippines, it's less money per 1,000 views, but also if a person clicks on a commercial, you might get a penny or a half a penny if they click on the commercial. YouTube used to pay 1 penny per view. So for 1,000 views, it was $10. Now they pay 1/10 of 1 penny per view. So you need 1,000 views to make 1,000 tenths of a penny. No, I got that wrong. You need 1,000 views. They pay 1/100th of a penny for a view. That's, you could believe what you want, but now they might pay 2/100ths of a view. They might. I don't know. But what I will show you my YouTube page, and then we'll solve that problem right now. Give me a moment, and I'll show you the analytics page. It's not a secret. I don't. Let's see. How do I get there? I got to go back over here. I got to go to analytics. The computer is running a little slow. Bear with me. I pushed the back button 20 seconds ago. Okay. I'm going to go to my analytics page. Okay. My mistake. I was reading something else. Okay. Hold on a minute. Here is my analytics page. My mistake. It was 10,000 views in this month. So 10,000 views less $100 in Super Chat. This $68 in Super Chat, $6, that's 75, and 8 is 83, and 5 is 88. $88 in Super Chat, and this might have been $1, so $90 in Super Chat earned me $34. $34. Okay, so take $90 off of 124. Take $90 off of 124, and that's $34, not $32. My mistake. $34. And I'm just going to turn this around for a second. I want to see what that previous page was. Okay. Okay, so 9,400 views. 9,400 views. Netted $34. So, lotto retirement strategist, if you did the math on that on your calculator, can you please tell us what 34 into 900 would be? That would be 20, not so much. Hey, thumbs up from everybody. Thanks, Dennis. Okay, so I earned $34 from AdSense. And that's how you have to go, because, so did AdSense pay it paid my internet bill. It didn't pay for my time. Add $50 an hour for my time. And if you don't want to add $50 for my time, then don't add it. But that's my time is worth $50 an hour. I've had nothing but, I've never worked for $50 an hour, actually. Seems high. What seems high? Let's see. Where are we here? Let's go over here. No way I made that much money. No, you have to excuse me. Okay, it's confusing because there's a lot of numbers. $9,000 views. $9,000 views into $34, not 34 into 9,000. I think we have the numbers transversed. I think the numbers are transversed. Because not, well, all right, so just take it as 9,000 views divided by 30. What's 9 into 34? $2.80. 9 times. So for each, yeah, that looks like about right. So I guess people have been hitting the commercials when you get a click, because normally YouTube pays, like I said, between $1 and $2 per 1,000 views. It's confusing. So 9 into 34 would be 9 times 3 is 27. $3. So it's $3 per 1,000. That's what it is. About $3 and change per 1,000. 9 times what equals 34? Whatever that is, let's just say 10 times 10,000. 10 times what equals 34? $3.40 per 1,000. So I'm actually earning pretty good money. But it's not $1 or $2. But that's only because people are clicking. They're giving me better commercials. But normally I make about $1.50 per 1,000 views. And also I'm going to say that there's probably a few $1 super chats in there. I've gotten $1 super chats from people. And so maybe I made $30 and I got 10,000 views, and that's $3 per 1,000. I'm doing good. $3 per 1,000, I would accept that, because normally I only make about $2 per 1,000, which is not much money, but that's what it is. I do this because I want to. I do this because you people, there is nobody else on YouTube that has the varied types of videos with the different industries that I've worked in, or anything from their past or background. Nobody else. Nobody on this channel, nobody on my other channel, nobody on YouTube has the, do you see people that own several different boats, including a small yacht? Do you see people with videos of the Grand Canyon. I have pictures of going into the Grand Canyon. Do you see pictures of people building boats out of wood from scratch, 21-foot cabin cruisers? Those are pictures before video. Do you see video of people from the 80s or 90s? You don't see any of that stuff. Do you see people doing anything? I have a more eclectic array of videos than anybody else on YouTube. Now, you'll hear stories about me, about, oh, he never owned a Cobra. But then when I show them the registration for the Cobra, they have to eat crow. He never owned an Ocean Racer. It's got my name on it. Sits back at my house for 11 years. They got to eat crow. He never owned a house. And then when you prove to them, see, there are a lot of the psychopathic, narcissistic personalities on YouTube are endless. If I was to say, I've said it, I'll bet you $10,000. I have, thank you, the coffee house, thank you. I'll bet you $10,000 I have the registration, and I can prove I owned an SR 311 Ocean Racer with twin 454s. And you never owned it. You're lying. It was somebody else's boat. You had it behind your house. Jealous little people. Jealous little people. People that have never owned anything, never done anything. That's okay. But then they feel the need, the Napoleon complex, to say, I don't believe a word he says. And then they tell you some super story. I worked on a fishing boat. And that all you see from that man is a picture of him leaning up against a railing with a fishing boat behind him. And I'll tell you the story that goes along with that. He went to Alaska to get a job on a fishing boat. That's true. I am good friends with an ex-friend of his, with no names mentioned. That's true. He went to Alaska to get a job on a fishing boat. He got a job on a fishing boat doing something inside the boat at the dock, unloading the boat. And he lasted 3 or 4 days. And then he went back to where he came from. He's not employable for a company where there's competition in what you're doing. Like on a fishing boat, I worked on a lobster boat. I worked in a trap lot. You have to pump out. When I was building traps, the only way you make money is to pump out a lot of traps. I could pump out 25 traps a day. That was a lot, more than anybody else. And there was a contest, and yes, I won. But when you're on a fishing boat, on a lobster boat, you have to hump. Either you're humping the trap, either you're humping the trap onto the boat after I haul it up, or you're hauling it up and I'm humping the trap up. But if there's two guys, you gotta take up the slack. There's no slack. Now, if one guy starts slacking, the captain just gets a new guy at the dock in the morning. So that's how you keep a job on a fishing vessel. Everybody has to work as hard as they can and produce. And if you see somebody slacking, they're going to get laid off, and that's what happened. But he wants to claim that, or some people claim that they worked on he worked on a fishing boat, unloading a boat for 2 or 3 days, and then got fired. I worked on a boat for months. I have many videos up of fishing in the Florida Keys. I have many videos of I owned a barge and crane service. Many videos. He didn't own. I had the barge in back of my house for 11 years. My name's on the registration. The Coast Guard gave me fines. I owned it. But there's jealous, sick, demented little people out there that refuse to acknowledge that they themselves have no accolades to be proud of. And that's okay. That's okay. It's okay that you've never amounted to a full-fledged alpha male. Beta male, Charlie male, in some cases a delta male. It's possible, and it's on YouTube. There are all different relative levels of manhood on YouTube. We have alpha, we have beta, we have Charlie, we have delta, and we have one sigma male. His name is Philip Janik. That's the only sigma male I know, and I'm not kidding. He has more of the characteristical traits than an alpha male. That puts him into the sigma male category. So when you hear stories about me, none of them are true. Nobody will ever wage big money to try to prove me wrong. Like, for instance, the little blogger that said, he never owned a boat, bet me money. He never owned an ocean, bet me money. And you hear him crawl up into a little ball like a little girl. He does that. Whenever he gets back down, he backs down. And well, he should. Because he can't say, he can only run his mouth, he can't prove anything. So when it comes time to wager money, I don't need to wager you money. Just show us that you prove to you. The barge is in back of my house for 11 years. What do I have to prove exactly? See, that is, when you see that kind of stuff on YouTube, that's a narcissistic, psychopathic personality. Just remember that when you see it. And then if you adhere to that, well, then fine. Then you're a narcissistic, psychopathic personality trait lover. Don't blame me for your foibles in life. So we have come to the conclusion that 9,000 views for $34 is about $3.50 per thousand. Took us a while to do that. Two guys with our backgrounds. It's confusing. It's very confusing. Thank you, Coffee. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you very much. Salamat. A lot of people enjoy my content. Dennis said thank you as well. Retirement strategist. Lot of retire. I used to work on a farm baling hay. Okay, here we go. This guy has had a similar background in regards to work. He's worked in the airline industry. I worked in the airline industry. He's worked as a supervisor. I worked as a supervisor. He's worked with professionals. I have worked with professionals. I own my own excavation company. Barges, cranes, tugboats, backhoes, bobcats, drill rigs, trenching machines. For 38 years. What do you think, that's easy? You clowns out there that make fun of me. You would never dare to own the equipment that I own because you wouldn't know how to start it up and use it. But you make fun of me. That's okay, you make fun of me. One day there's going to come a time that you won't make fun of me anymore because you're tired of making fun of me. But in the meantime, have fun making fun of me. Because that's all you got. Your lives have amounted to nothing, so you have to knock me down to come down to your level. It'll never happen. It'll just never happen. I used to work, let me get that comment up off the bottom there. I can't see it. I used to work on a farm baling hay. A new guy who couldn't work 13 hours a day in the sun would quit on their own accord, right? Oh, talking about guys that can't go in the sun. Oh, my God. Don't talk about that guy. Anybody who can't work out in the hot sun can't work. Well, I mean, they're not worked. What do they call it? They're not worked their salt. So I worked out in the hot sun my whole life. I never complain. I do it here. I'm 67. All you guys that make fun of me that are my age, come Come and work next to me. Come and work outside next to me all day. If I pick something up and move it, you pick it up and move it back. If I walk 100 feet, you walk 100 feet. If I take a walk to the beach, you walk to the beach. If I take a drink of water, you take a drink of water. You mimic me, what I do, my moves, my steps, my motions, my picking, whatever I pick up. You mimic what I do all day, and we'll see what kind of shape you're in at 67. I'm going to be 68 next month, and I'm in better shape than 99% of all people that are 68 years old. Even though I'm fat, I'm still in better shape in the Philippines genre. None of you people could do what I do. You don't see anybody making videos outside their house working. I'm retired. Good. I don't have to do what Fazio does. Good. You can't do what I do. That's the point. I laugh at you people because all your lives you've been what's called in biblical terms as a backslider. Slackers and backsliding. Backsliding is when you don't hold up your end of whatever it is that you're walking uphill with. Backsliding. Hey, a new subscriber. Tan Rat says, welcome to the machine, I think. Tan Rat says, that's exactly it. Some people have to knock people down so they feel they are at their low level. That's right. And I'll give it back to you. I'll give it back, and I'll give it back to you in spades, because the difference between me and them is I actually, hey, whoa, I have a pot. The difference between me and them is I have pictures, videos. I have drives. Where are my drives? I have drives with pictures going back into the 1970s. And I'm not even a photographer. Sim, thank you. I'll be with you in a moment. I'm thinking of a song. It's going to have the word rat in it because this fella, his name is Tan Rat. And then Sim sent money, so I'm going to make up a song about a tin rat. Tan Rat. So I have pictures. So I brought 7,000 pictures. I sorted them out. I brought about 5,000 of those pictures to CVS pharmacies in Florida and paid to put them on discs, which I still have. And then I put from the discs to the hard drive. None of you other people, I did this. I owned that car. I owned this car. I owned that car. I owned this car. But no pictures. Because you're full of shit. As much as I hate to say that, that's the truth. Never owned anything. I owned a 350 Honda. I owned a 350 Duster. I owned a 350 Nova. Bullshit. Show us pictures of the designation sign that says 350 Nova, not you standing in front of the Nova, you driving the Nova. Look, I can go outside and sit in front of a tricycle and say, here, look, see this I don't own a tricycle. Anybody can stand in front of a Porsche and say, this is my car. Or have a picture of them standing next to their boyfriend's car. Did I say boyfriend? Have a picture of them standing next to another man's car and say it's their car. How do we know? Show us the registration right here. See this document? See this box right here? See what it says? This is every car, every truck, and every boat I owned in the state of Florida. And some things are going back into the 80s. I might even have the registration for my GTX, but I did own a 446 pack GTX. So, luckily, Sim, I don't have to get up. You saved me a trip to the pot. Thank you very much, Tan Rat. Let's see if there was one more. Louis Pagan Ponce. I just saw the replay. What a great duo. The Foz being interviewed by the head of the De Winter crime family, La Cosa Nostra at its best. Let me tell you, Louis, the stuff that Allo talks about is very crazy stuff. So Simulacron has something to say. Good show. Was able to listen to the first part. I recorded it. If you want, I'll send you a copy. So Tan Rat. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a yellow belly rat in the Philippines genre. A man who is afraid of his own shadow. A man who accused me of being gay. And believe me, I won't forget that for many days. That very same punk was the same man that funded the man to come to attack me. The man has a yellow streak from here to Sesame Street. He'll never come out from behind a fence unless he's sporting a shovel weapon. And even then, he only runs his mouth when the man on the other side of the fence is walking away. Because that man has a yellow streak from here to Sesame Street. The man claims he knows construction. But as my friend Sim knows, he can't even open up a 1-gallon can of paint. If you think I'm kidding, there's video proof. The man had to get his better half to open up a 1-gallon can of paint. They make them so hard to open up, he gave up within 15 minutes. Can you imagine spending 15 minutes trying to open up a can of paint and having to ask your significant other, please come over here and help me open up this can of paint. My name should have been Spastic. But they didn't have that word when I was born. So for now, you'll have to call me whatever and understand that even opening up a can of paint is too much for my small utag, which means brain in Visaya. Thank you, Simulacron. I hope you enjoyed that little ditty. You guys forcing me to make up songs. You know I don't like to do that. You could see I don't enjoy doing that. There was just a standard 1 gallon can of paint. That's all it was. It was just a standard one. It didn't even have a band around it. You needed a quarter or a screwdriver to open it up. It was just a regular 1 gallon plastic bucket of paint. Nothing. No, it was just regular paint. So let's go back. Simulacron. Simulacron. I own a 2021 CVD HD Road Glide Ultra, says Scott Del Fuego. And he really does. That's a nice, yeah. But Scott has video of him at the most recent Sturgis event. Scott has video of the motorcycle and him. Oh, to the fella that says I don't own the yacht, and my SR 311 Formula was designated a yacht. It's that, you look it up. SR Sierra Romeo 311 Formula Ocean Racer. It's designated as yacht. It's in the description of the original sales receipt when it's sold from the factory. It's a yacht. So that trip to Sturgis with Scott, he has pictures and he really owns the motorcycle, and it's a beautiful motorcycle. But the other fella that claims he did this and he did that, he got no pictures. But why? Why does Fazio, who is not a photographer, have 4,000 pictures, and if somebody that claimed that they were he was a liberal fart or something like that, F-A-R-T, fart, a liberal fart, whatever that is. He had a diploma for liberal farts. And I think that's when you let people fart in your face. But I'm not real sure. You're a little bit liberal and you let people fart in your face, so you have a liberal farts degree. I think that's what it is. But let's see if Sim liked my don't make me make songs. If for $10, I will make a song. You will force me to make up some stupid song, and I will. So I have to add that up. Hold on a minute. Thank you, Sim. That's good. Half of that is going towards so now we have $35. So we have a $20 from John Blaze, a lot of retirement strategist, $5, Sim $10. I'll take all this money. I'm going to say it every time I get a super chat. If it adds up to whatever it adds up, I'm going to take the 30% off of YouTube, what they take away from it, and I'm going to give half to my landlord Nanai for foods for the fiesta. Okay, so thank you very much, Sim. And then, but I will make a video of me handing her the money with her son in the video, or it'll be on a live stream. I won't just say that I'm going to do something without proof. Dennis Adam, I own a 2022 electric e-bike. I know that. That's pretty cool, Dennis. I like those. I would buy one of those, but I am afraid of motorcycles, electric bikes. I never want to be on one. I was on a motorcycle once in the last 2 years in Cebu because it saved me 2 hours of traffic, but somebody else was driving, a professional driver. I could not ride a motorcycle. In my life, I did when I was young. I was injured twice badly, near death once, and never again did I get on a motorcycle. I did. I rode a motorcycle 2 or 3 times after that, maybe a half a mile or a mile, but I never did my 100-mile runs out to Long Island. because that was what got me one of those runs. Another day, story for another. I owned a penguin, stole it from the local aquarium. No pictures though. Louis, you're a penguin thief. I never knew that. I shared an ice cream with a midget that I have pictures of. Haven't we all been with a little lady at one time or another? I met a lady. I didn't meet her. I talked to her. We talked online. She was the cutest little girl I ever saw. She was like 30 years old. And I don't think she was 4'8". God, she was beautiful. She had a perfectly proportioned figure-8 body, beautiful little face. In the supermarket last week, 5 or 6 days ago, I never saw such a beautiful small person. She was beautiful, and we talked. We didn't talk about anything, nothing like romantic or anything like that. We just talked about nonsense. We were talking about, what was I buying? What the heck did I buy the other day? I was looking. No, I bought something. I bought a half a gallon of white vinegar. So we were talking about the prices of food, and I said, a gallon of vinegar last year was 125 pesos for puti vinegar. It's called white vinegar. Puti means white in Visaya. And now it's 200 pesos. So it went up 75 pesos. That's more than 50%. That's like 60% it went up. And other things went up. And the girl was saying that whatever she had gone up about the same. Rice here went up 30 pesos in the last year. Cabbage. Cabbage went from 55 to 85. So that's 30 pesos more on 55 pesos. That's 50%. Exactly. Well, it's a little more, but 50%. Also, eggs went from 220 for 30 eggs. So that's about 7 cents. 7 cents. Just over 7 cents. They went up to 8 cents. 260 pesos. 8.5 cents. So they went from 7 cents to 8.5 cents. But if you take 7 cents and divide it to see what that difference is, it went up 20%. Eggs in just the last 3 months, eggs went up 20%. Everything is going up. Everything. And to the creep. That video that you made about how I can't afford the electric and stuff like that. Why is it that you won't walk up to somebody in real life and say stuff like that? Why is it? What is with you? I just abandoned in my life. I'll just abandon you like that. Bang. It makes no difference to me. Because if you're not my friend, we have nothing to talk about. I don't associate with people that are not my friend, trustworthy. Now, I have a lot of people I've learned to talk to on YouTube. I am going to meet people on a regular basis for the rest of my life on YouTube. But I have a select group of people that I call friend, and that's it. And to get into that group, it's a high bar. There could never be any lies or between us. Nothing like that. Hello, Mr. Fazio from 32. Hello, Mr. 32 from Michael Fazio. So I have a high set of morals. If I find out that you do something I don't like, if I don't know anybody, I don't stay with anybody, foreigners in the Philippines that do drugs. None. Because that's just a no-no. Okay? But I also don't stay with anybody that drinks alcohol. There is just nothing good about alcohol to me. So when you hear, oh, he drank a lot of alcohol when he said it was because of his leg injury. It was because of my leg injury. It was because the pain, the ibuprofen, you could just take so many of these and then it becomes bad for you. So I had to go to alcohol to kill the pain. And I drank a lot of alcohol. Okay? When that guy can't even remember how much alcohol I drank. The alcohol that I drank would put him down before he could walk to his bed. But he's a little bit on the feminine side, and I expect that much from, a fembot. What was Pagan Ponce? To his defense, that gallon of paint is childproof. Give him a break. Childproof, LOL, says Lotto. Now, Lotto Retirement Strategist has degrees equal to of mechanical engineering, architectural blueprint, exploded views, completely different than blueprints. I would say that without knowing Lotto Retirement Strategist, I passed a course in exploded views where you use your 60s and your 30s, and you know what an exploded, and we had to do it with pencil back in 1972. So I would say he has a degree in exploded views, because most of you couldn't even read an exploded view blueprint, a three-dimensional exploded view, let alone make one, because you guys don't know, you don't have a good education. That's okay. Some of us strive to be better. Some of us strive to be more. Some of us strive to be the best we could be. And some people just slacked off their entire lives and let the system give them a handout. Not a hand up, a handout. And without that handout, they'd be living on the street like Barry Jordan, because they have no physical skills that are saleable to any employer. The person that I'm talking about is unemployable. No one would ever hire him. No one would ever work with him. No one could ever work with him because he's unemployable. I've gone through 1,000 acceptance of employees, having employees, and then letting employees go, because if you can't show up for work on time, you can't work for me. Most people can't show up for work on time. That's a big problem for me. I tell you to be there at 7 o'clock, we start work, and you get to work 30 seconds, 1 second after 7 o'clock, I send you home. I don't care. You're supposed to be at work 15 minutes early, not 1 second late. That was my rule. You don't like it? Hey, you don't even have a job, so it doesn't matter. Go find another place to work. That fella that makes fun of me, he's unemployable for 100 different reasons. Aside from that thing with the dog. Well, we won't talk about. Autofoggy, hey, oh my God. I was thinking, wow, that's psychic. Holy macaroni. Without mentioning any names, that guy made an entire video about you last week, putting you down as a liar, as a fraud, as a drug addict, as a. He said that they caught you rubbing in the girls' locker room or something like that. What a piece of garbage he is. This is one of the best men you'll ever meet in your life. This fella, Tak for Alt. One of the nicest, gentlest, intelligent men that you're ever going to meet in your whole life. Conversations that would last hours and hours.
Press it all the way down.
Conversations that were stimulating and vigorous. Conversations about people that he worked with that he told me to try to avoid because of their narcissistic, psychopathic personality disorders. And he was right. I'm going to go back to my channel. I just subscribed to your channel. So, let me get back here. One of the nicest men on YouTube, really. Literally, self-eating is our body's way of okay, so Ken Tak for Alt says autophagy, literally self-eating. Okay, wait a second. Autophagy and lotto retirement strategist said the same thing. Scott said the same thing. This is the definition of what's going on inside your body after 5 days. Autophagy, literally self-eating, is our body's way of recycling mostly cellular debris. Debris, that's the key word there, debris, when in a fasted state. So autophagy means the body is eating the garbage cells, the low-lying cells in your body. Please don't overdo it. I know you know the risk, just voicing my concern. Thank you. Yeah, well, I don't have a headache, I'm not dizzy, and I've not been nauseous. And I feel more energetic today than I did for 10 days. And thank you. And this fella that just wrote this article has a degree in biology. Okay? So he's not just writing a definition off of the internet or off of Google. His biological degree lets him understand that what he said is true and makes him understand the basics of what he just said, which I don't know what he just said. I know that autophagy now eats the garbage cells in your body. Scott said it. A lot of retirement strategists said it. Other people have said it. But he just put it where it's eating the garbage in your body. And that's true. And that's coming from an actual biologist, an actual man that went to school and has a degree in biology. So this is his knowledge. This is his forte. Thank you. Tak for Alt. Yeah, 32. I actually used to keep, I don't give to the locals anymore. I used to buy a couple of cases of rum and keep it on hand, but it got out of control. People coming over, give me one bottle. Just give me one bottle. And they'd be drunk. And I'm not going to deal with that. So I just stopped. There was a couple of reasons I stopped. But I don't need somebody, give me one bottle. Just give me one bottle. They don't even say please, but that's normal in the Philippines. Beggars, you got people on the street living in puddles and in forests with tarpaulins over them. And when they ask you for money, they say, give me $1. give me 1,000, give me 500, give me money. They don't even say please. You can't even teach them to say please. It might make a difference, but they don't say it. I learned drafting with pen and pencil. The CAD came along. I used a lot of different CAD software. I primarily use SolidWorks. I don't know what CAD means, but that's how I learned drafting with pen and, well, I learned drafting with a number 2 pencil, a T-square, a drafting board, a 45, a 60, and a 30. And I think those were the only, I still have them somewhere. I don't know. I still have all my drafting equipment. But I don't know what CAD means. Autophagy, 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 autophagy. You know what autophagy, that word reminds me of? That reminds me of that guy that smokes fags, the fag smoker. Autophagy, the fag smoker. Autophagy, fag smoker. Autophagy, fag smoker. Autophagy, fag smoker. Autophagy, autophagy, fag smoker. I don't know where that just came from, but it came. Thank you very much. 32 says, I learned drafting also. Drafted up 2 homes and built both here in the Philippines. Very nice. Yeah, drafting. I love drafting. I just took 2 semesters of drafting. It was required in order to get your F-frame and power plant license, either one, you need to have 2 semesters of drafting, and you have to pass with a minimum of a 70. And that's so that you can read blueprints and read schematics. It wasn't so that you would ever design anything. It was so you could read schematics. A lot of retirement strategist says, Scott, I looked up your bike. Wow. A lot of retirement strategist says, autophagy in the brain begins after 6 hours of fasting before going to bed. Hey, I got something better than that. For fags, for autophagy, I don't. Who needs autophagy when you got a picture of Barry Jordan on your bedroom door? Who needs autophagy when you can rub a picture of Barry Jordan? Ah, boy. I'm going to get ready to go. Even doctors will mispronounce autophagy. Call it what you want. We all know what it means. Retirement strategist, LOL. You like my little song? Yeah, you know that guy, the fag smoker. Now, I smoked for many years, but I always had the ability to quit. And I didn't smoke a cigarette. God, I didn't even smoke a single cigarette till I was 25. And then I smoked till I was about 35. And I started again here in the Philippines. No, actually, I'm wrong about that. In the year 1999, remember when cigarettes were $1 a pack in 1999? And then they were going to jump up to $2. So in 1999, the Hess gas station I did the excavation for in one of my videos, I was friends with the manager. He said that cigarettes are going to jump from $1 to $2. So I bought 24 cartons, 2 cases. So That was $240. I think that's what I did. And I said, when I'm done smoking this last cigarette, I quit. So I smoked those 24 cartons over the course of, what is 24 cartons is 240 days, 240 packs of cigarettes. It lasted a year. No, 24 cartons. 10 times 24 is 240. Yeah. It lasted a little over a year. Maybe I smoked a half a pack a day then. And then I never smoked again until I moved to the Philippines. And then I didn't start smoking for a couple of years after I got here in 2015. It's just a nasty, disgusting habit. Now, I had the ability to quit because I'm a real man. A real man can quit anytime they want. A lesser man, a weaker man, a man that has a more frail stature and more frail mental capacity, they have trouble quitting. That's the problem with being a frail man, or being weak-minded, weak, and just weak in general. And so when you call somebody a fag smoker, it means they smoke cigarettes, and the term in England for the word cigarette is fag. And I know a lot of people from England, and they call the cigarettes fags, and they call you a fag smoker. So we have fag smokers in the Philippine genre. But I don't know a lot of them. But there has to be at least a few. It's hard to quit, 32. Well, I didn't quit smoking and cigarettes the same day. I quit drinking a long time ago. I think I quit drinking about 6 months before I quit cigarettes. The alcohol was killing me. Oh, God. The dullness of mind. The alcohol, I never did a barbiturate. Well, I did one in high school once. But the alcohol made me feel lethargic. You know what the alcohol made me feel like? When I had a knee surgery, I had ACL replacement. They gave me oxycodone in 1990. And I had 10 pills. And I would take 1/8 of a pill. That's it. I wouldn't take any more than that. And then those pills lasted until the pain went away. And then I had pills into the year 2005. I think I had the last one when I had an injury to my hamstring muscle. But that was what it made me feel like. It makes you forget, it makes you lethargic, it makes you tired, and it makes you stupid. And you shouldn't run heavy equipment, and that's what I do. So that's why I never did alcohol. I didn't have a drop of alcohol for 20 years. Maybe a shot on Christmas or 4th of July, I'd have a crackling cold Heineken. But I just don't like alcohol. Plus, I'm an operator. And I'm not going to go out and get drunk tonight and then tomorrow I crush them, turn them into tomato juice. And what am I supposed to say to his wife and children? I'm sorry? Having a hangover and hurting somebody like that, alcohol is no excuse. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I didn't know that quitting would give you... Well, I quit both within 6 months and never had another cigarette or another drink. Me and Scott, we had a drink on Christmas. We got hammered together. And about 4 months ago, I had I had a sippy cup. I had about this much beer out of a sippy cup because there was a girl there that kept, you gotta drink, you gotta drink. Okay, I'll drink. So I had a half a cup of beer. Okay, then, ladies and gentlemen, Sim, thank you very much. And what do we got here? Thank you very much, Sim. A lot of retirement. 32. Scott, Dennis. Thank you for stopping by. Lewis, of course. Talk for Alt. God, the stuff that guy said. That guy hates you. He hates you for what you've shared. In fact, let me tell you, Talk for Alt. I don't know that you're still here. Let me see who's here. He says, this is how sick this man is. You're gone. I'll send you a message on one of your videos. He has said some of the nastiest stuff I've ever heard about a blogger in my life. So thanks, everybody. Of course, Amping Permi from the Philippines, which means, of course, take care always. Yeah, that alcohol is just alcohol is just bad, really bad alcohol. Amping Permi, and thank you very much. Salamat from the Philippines, baby, and Amping Permi means take care always, and Salamat means thank you. Saka means up. Naug means down. To O, to O means half. Onahan means forward. Let's see. Nagpo Yoko sa Mindanao means I live in Mindanao. Asaka Porolong means where are you going? Toyok means forward and back. Toyok. Gamut is your hand. Ta'el, you added a thumbs up. Thank you, 32. Ta'el means your foot. Linkod means walk. Ligo means bath. Libre means free. Langoy means swim. Gamay means small. Dako means big. Caballo means horse. Lechon means roasted pig. Manuk means chicken. And I don't know a lot of words, but I might know 100 words. But I have to think about it. Like, I have to be in the situation. Ungoy, of course, means monkey. Tambuk, I am Tambuk, fat. Niwang, thin. I am not Niwang. I am Tambuk, fat. That's right, baby. Okay, baby is babae. Babae and lalaki. A babae is a baby girl, and a lalaki is a baby boy. Kanding is a goat. Pabo is a turkey. What was that? Pabo is a canding. I thought canding is a goat. Okay, pabo, canding. Turkey and goat. Pabo is turkey. Kanding is goat. Pabo! We don't have turkeys here, so I wouldn't know that name. You could buy one now in Bohol. They have them. I saw them up the road somewhere. Turkeys for sale. Thanks for sharing. Pabo. Dennis Adam with the big. John Blaze. Thanks very much, John, for stopping by. I know how valuable your time is. John Blaze calls me from his $30 million aircraft while he's flying, loading up water tanks to dump on forest fires. How you doing, Michael? I'm flying over a pond now collecting water to go dump on a forest fire. How's that for friendship? I watched your live stream yesterday. That was right on, man. Thank you very much for the shout out, and thanks for saying what you did, John. Appreciate that. Okay, I really do have something that I want to do. I want to go take a bath, and then I want to do something after that. I have my drone all charged up right here. There's my drone charger and my controller. Everything is charged up. The drone, the phone, everything is ready to go, baby. Ready to go. But I won't be flying. I don't think I'm flying today. The wind is strong. The wind is big. The cold wind. Hang in, hang in, hang in is wind. Hagdan is steps. Hagdan. Saka Hagdan means go up the steps. Naug Hagdan means go down the steps. Linkod means sit down. Palihog means please. Gotta go. All right, everybody. Bye-bye for now. I'm Big Permy from the Philippines, baby. That's right. Oy vey en shalom. From the Philippines, baby. That's right. From Rabbi Jew Barker in the Philippines, baby.